It started with a sound, a loud, sharp cry that shook the sky. The alien girl named Zira looked up. Smoke filled the air above her peaceful village on planet Kalora. People were screaming. Buildings burned. And in the center of the chaos, her dragon Nyrax was gone. Zira's heart raced. Nyrax was not just a dragon. He was her bond partner, her only family. Dragons on Kalora were rare, strong, intelligent, and sacred. Whoever took him wasn't looking for peace. 3 black ships had come from the clouds. They moved fast, firing plasma blasts. They didn't ask questions. They didn't warn anyone. And they took only one thing, her dragon. Zira ran through the smoke, coughing, eyes stinging. She saw her mother trying to fight back with a crystal blade, but the attackers were too strong. They weren't from any known race of the local stars. Their armor was red and jagged. Their faces were hidden under black masks. As Zira watched helplessly, the attackers vanished into the sky with Nyrax chained inside one of their ships. She fell to her knees. 3 days passed. No help came. The elders of her village refused to fight. We can't risk more lives for one beast, they said. The dragon is gone. Zira was furious. He's not just a beast. He's alive. He's my family. No one will help you, the village leader said coldly. Accept it. She did in single quotes. Late that night, Zira packed food, a map, and a glowing tracker crystal. Nyrax's collar had a signal. If she followed it, maybe she could find him, but she couldn't do it alone. So she went to the edge of the village, to the camp of the human trader, the one who stayed behind when all the others fled. His name was Rex Carter. He was tall, strong, with short brown hair and eyes that had seen many wars. Most of the villagers didn't trust humans. They called him strange and dangerous. But Zira had seen him help a starving child once, giving away his last ration. She hoped he might help her now. She found Rex sitting by his ship, fixing a broken panel with old tools. I need your help, Zira said without greeting. He looked up, surprised. You never even say hello. They took Nyrax, Rex blinked. The dragon? She nodded. I tracked the signal. He's still alive. But they flew beyond the dead sector. Rex whistled. That's pirate space. No law, no help. And lots of people who'd love to shoot us. I'll go alone if I have to. He looked at her for a moment. Why ask me? No one else will. Rex stared into the dark sky for a long moment, then stood up. I once lost my shipmate to pirates. No one helped me either. I won't let that happen to you. Zira felt a mix of relief and disbelief. You'll help me? He smiled. One dragon rescue coming right up. They loaded up supplies quickly. The tracker crystal blinked fast. Now Nyrax was moving, but still traceable. As the human ship rose into the night, Zira glanced back at her village. She saw the same cold lights, the same fear. No one cared. No one dared except him, Rex Carter. The one no one expected to stay. The one who said yes. 2 hours into space, the ship suddenly shook. Alarms blared. What's happening? Zira shouted. We crossed into the dead sector, Rex said. Someone's locking onto us. On the screen, a red dot appeared. One of their ships, Rex said, and it's coming fast. Zira tightened her grip on the seat. Can we fight? We'll have to, Rex said, because there's no turning back now. Outside the window, a shadow grew larger. A pirate ship with the same red armor, same black design. Zira's eyes widened. That's them, Rex nodded. Then let's give them a surprise. He pressed a button. The human ship fired its thrusters and turned sharply, heading straight for the enemy. The war had started, and this time, Zira was not alone. Asterisk. The pirate ship came closer, its guns glowing red, ready to fire. Rex Carter held tight to the control panel. They're scanning us. We need to move fast. Zira's heart pounded. She had never been in a space fight before. Her dragon Nyrax had always protected her. But now she had only this human. Can we escape? She asked. Maybe, Rex said. But not by running. He pressed a red switch. Hold on. Suddenly, the human ship spun hard to the left and dove under the pirate vessel. A plasma shot flew just inches above them. The pirate ship missed. They didn't expect that, Rex smirked. Let's see if they like this. He fired back 2 missiles streaked from under their wings, hitting the pirate's engine. Smoke burst from its side. They're slowing. Down, Zira shouted, but Rex didn't stop. He flew straight toward a broken moon in the distance. Pieces of it floated in space like sharp rocks. They won't follow us in there, he said. Too dangerous. Zira looked out the window. It's like a minefield. Exactly, Rex replied. Perfect place to hide. Inside the broken moon, everything was quiet. The pieces of rock floated slowly, spinning around them. It was dark. Cold. Rex turned off the lights and engines. We stay silent for a while. Let them think we're gone. Zira looked at the tracker crystal. The signal still blinked, but slower. Nyrax is still moving. They're taking him somewhere far. Rex nodded. Probably to their main base. Zira lowered her voice. Why would they want him? Dragons don't exist on other planets. Maybe that's why, Rex said. To them, Nyrax is rare, powerful, maybe even a weapon. Zira's face grew tight with worry. He's not a weapon. They don't care. After 2 hours, Rex powered the ship again. The pirate signal was gone. They had lost their follower, but the journey had just begun. We're going deep. Into outlaw territory now, Rex said. No rules. No help. I'm ready, Zira said. He gave her a serious look. You're brave. But this will test you. I'll do whatever it takes, she said. Nyrax would do the same for me. Rex smiled slightly. Then let's go get your dragon. They passed planets with no names. Broken ships floated in orbit. Some looked destroyed. Others looked hungry. Zira kept watching the blinking tracker. Each time it pulsed, she whispered, Hold on, Nyrax. After one more day of flying, they saw something. A huge station floating between 2 gas planets. It looked like a giant spider made of metal. Sharp towers stretched from its center. Lights blinked across its walls. That's it, Rex said. Pirate Fortress. That's where they took your dragon. Zira stared at the massive structure. How do we get in? We don't, Rex said. Not through the front gate. Then how? We sneak. Rex flew around the back of the top of the fortress. There was a small vent tunnel, half broken and forgotten. Just wide enough for their small ship. Zira looked nervous. Is this safe? No, Rex said, but it's smart. They entered the dark tunnel slowly. Metal scraped against the ship's wings. Inside the fortress, the lights were dim. Alarms didn't sound. No one noticed them. Rex landed inside a quiet hangar bay and powered everything down. We go on foot from here, he said. And stay hidden. They moved through the fortress halls. Zira carried a stun blade. Rex had a small pulse pistol. The air smelled like oil and sweat. Loud voices echoed in the distance. Zira held the tracker crystal tight. It pulsed stronger. Now, he's close, she whispered. Suddenly, they heard a growl. Zira froze. That growl, it was Nyrax. She ran ahead, ignoring Rex's warning. Zira, wait. She turned a corner and stopped. Nyrax was in a large cage, surrounded by guards. Chains covered his wings and legs. His eyes were glowing with anger, but when he saw her, they softened. Nyrax! She cried. The dragon let out a soft roar. He recognized her, but one of the guards turned. "Hey, intruder!" More guards appeared from side doors. At least 10 of them. All armed. Rex arrived just in time, pulling Zira back. "We can't fight." "All of them," he said. "Not yet." Zira looked at her dragon. "I won't leave him again." "We'll come back," Rex promised. "But we need a plan." As they ran back through the halls, alarms blared behind them. The pirates knew. Someone had come, and Zira knew this wasn't going to be easy. Zira's heart burned with anger. They had reached Nyrax, but failed to free him. Now, she and Rex were hiding in a narrow service tunnel deep inside the pirate fortress. The walls were made of rusted metal. Pipes hissed as hot air passed through them. Every few seconds, they heard boots marching above. "I was so close," Zira whispered. Rex wiped blood from his lip. "We both were. But charging in without a plan will get us killed." Zira looked at the tracker crystal. It glowed bright now. Nyrax was only 2 levels below them. But guards blocked every path. "Then what's the plan?" she asked. Rex tapped his wrist device. "We need to know why they want your dragon. That'll tell us how to stop them." He opened a small port in the wall and hacked into the fortress's computer system. "Hurry," Zira said. "They'll be searching." "I'm going as fast as I can." After a few moments, Rex's screen flashed. "There," he said. "I found a restricted log. Looks like the pirates received a special order from someone called Commander Vaughn." "Who's that?" Zira asked. Rex frowned. "An alien warlord, not a pirate. A powerful leader from the Zentha sector." "Why would a warlord want my dragon?" Rex's eyes narrowed. "Because Nyrax isn't just a dragon." He showed Zira an old file. It was labeled Project Emberwing. In the file was a drawing of a dragon exactly like Nyrax. Underneath it were words: weapon class, Firestorm. Breath level, Omega. Genetic bond, high risk. Zira stared in disbelief. "They experimented on dragons?" "No," Rex said. "They created them. Your dragon may be one of their old war projects. But something went wrong. They abandoned the program." Zira's voice shook. "Nyrax isn't a weapon. He's kind. He saved me." Rex nodded. "Because he bonded with you. He chose peace." "But now they want him back," Zira said, eyes widening. "To turn him into a killer." Rex's voice turned serious. "Then we have to stop them before they reprogram him." Just then, they heard metal steps, voices. "They're coming." Zira whispered. Rex looked around. "There's a maintenance chute nearby. Go." They jumped inside and slid down into a storage room filled with stolen crates. As they caught their breath, Zira sat on a box, shaking. "I don't want to believe Nyrax is a weapon," she said. Rex sat beside her. "He isn't not anymore. But Vaughn won't care. That's why we must act now." Zira stood. "Then let's find Vaughn and end this," Rex smirked. "Now you're thinking like a human." They disguised themselves using old uniforms from one of the crates. With helmets on and weapons hidden, they looked like low-level crew. They moved through the hallways, listening to guard talk. Soon, they found where Commander Vaughn was staying, a high tower near the center of the fortress. Zira felt a chill as they stepped into the lift. What if he already started the reprogramming? "Then we stop him before it's finished," Rex said. The lift opened into a room of glowing screens and dark glass. At the far end stood Vaughn. He was tall, with armor made of dark green metal and a face like carved stone. His eyes were cold, cruel. He turned. "I was expecting you." Zira's stomach dropped. "You knew?" Rex asked, raising his pistol. Vaughn laughed. "Of course. The dragon's bond partner wouldn't stay away. And you, human, you're always trying to be the hero." You don't understand, Zero said. Nyrax is not a weapon. He's alive. He's good. Vaughn stepped closer. Good? That's a mistake. Dragons like him were made to destroy. But don't worry, we'll fix that. No, Rex said. You won't. He fired. The blast hit Vaughn's shield and bounced off. The warlord pulled a hidden blade from his back. Zero jumped in front of Rex with her stun blade. If you want Nyrax, you'll have to go through me. Vaughn grinned, gladly. The fight was fast and brutal. Vaughn moved with deadly skill. Zero dodged left and right, blocking each swing with all her strength. Rex joined in, shooting bursts of plasma. One blast hit Vaughn's side, burning through part of his armor, but the warlord didn't fall. He grabbed Rex and threw him against the wall. Zero screamed, "Rex!" In that moment of rage, her blade found its target. She stabbed Vaughn's leg. He howled and dropped to one knee. Zero pulled Rex to his feet. "Come on, we have to run." As they fled the tower, alarms roared. Vaughn's voice echoed behind them. "Run while you can. You'll never escape with the dragon." Zero didn't stop. She knew now, the pirates weren't working alone. A warlord wanted Nyrax for war, and they were running out of time. Zira dragged Rex through the steel corridors of the pirate fortress. His side bled, and his steps were weak, but he didn't let go of his pistol. "We need to reach Nyrax now," Zira said, her voice filled with fire. Rex nodded through the pain. "No more hiding. Let's end this." Alarms continued to echo. Around them, red lights flashed on every wall. Guards shouted across the halls. They were being hunted. Zira checked the tracker crystal again. The signal was steady and strong. He's close. Just a few more doors. They moved down a maintenance shaft and climbed through a broken vent. Inside they found a hallway with thick glass windows. Zira gasped. Through the glass she saw Nyrax. Was still in chains, lying weak in a dark cell. Wires ran from his head to a glowing machine. Sparks flickered as the machine tried to force new commands into his mind. "They've started the reprogramming," Rex said. "We're almost out of time." Zira clenched her fists. "We stop it now." The door to the chamber was locked by a code panel. Rex leaned on the wall, breathing hard. "I can crack it. But it'll take a minute." Zira nodded and stood. "Guard." Her stun blade buzzed softly. Suddenly, heavy boots echoed behind them. "Guards!" She shouted. 5 pirates charged around the corner. All armed, Zira stepped in front of Rex. "You won't touch him." She moved fast, blocking one pirate's shot, striking another in the chest with her blade. Rex joined in from the side, firing with steady aim despite his injury. Together, they took down 3. But 2 more remained. One tackled Zira to the ground, his fist raised ready to strike. Then came a loud beep. The door unlocked. Rex fired a final shot into the pirates. "Back! Move!" he shouted. Zira jumped to her feet. They rushed into the dragon chamber. The room was colder than the rest of the fortress. Nyrax looked up, eyes glowing faintly. He let out a weak growl when he saw Zira. "I'm here," she whispered. "I'm not leaving you." She ran to the machine and tried to shut it down, but it sparked and shocked her hand. "It's locked," she cried. Rex limped forward and pulled a grenade from his belt. "Stand back." He threw it at the control unit. Boom. The explosion shattered the machine. Sparks and fire erupted from the wires. The control lights faded. The chains around Nyrax fell open. Zira ran to him and hugged his warm, scaly neck. "Come on, boy. Let's go home." Nyrax groaned, stood slowly, and stretched his wings. But just then, the far door slammed open. Commander Vaughn stormed in, armored and furious. "You dare free him?" he growled. Zira stood between Vaughn and her dragon. "He's not yours." He never was. Vaughn drew his sword. Then both of you will die. Vaughn charged forward, swinging his weapon. Zentha fought back, but she was tired. Her arm shook. Her blade barely blocked his heavy strikes. Rex fired again and again, but Vaughn's armor blocked most of it. Then Nyrax moved. The dragon let out a deafening roar loud enough to shake the walls. Fire poured from his mouth, surrounding Vaughn in a burning circle. Zentha shouted, "Stop, Nyrax! Don't kill!" The dragon paused. Vaughn, now surrounded by fire, dropped his sword. His armor melted. He fell to the floor, barely alive. Zentha stepped forward and looked him in the eyes. "You tried to turn him into a monster, but he chose to be better than you." Then she turned her back. "Let's go." Rex climbed onto Nyrax's back, and Zentha helped him stay steady. Then she climbed up too. "Can he fly?" Rex asked. Zentha nodded. "We'll find out." Nyrax spread his wings and burst through the roof. In a blast of fire and light, the sky opened above them. Pirate ships chased from behind. But Nyrax flew faster than any of them, stronger, freer than ever. Lasers flew past them, but missed. Nyrax twisted, turned, and soared above the fortress. Zentha looked down and saw it burning. The warlord's base, the place where her dragon was almost broken, was falling apart. "They'll come after us," Rex said. "Let them," Zentha replied. "This time we're ready." Back in the stars, far from the danger, Nyrax flew silently. Rex lay back, breathing slow. "You did it," Zentha smiled. "No, we did it." Nyrax let out a soft growl of peace. The bond was stronger now, and the war wasn't over yet, because deep in space others like Vaughn were waiting, but Zentha wasn't afraid anymore. She had her dragon. She had her friend, and they were just getting started. Asterisk. The stars were quiet now. Nyrax flew smoothly across the dark sky, his wings wide and strong. Zentha sat close to his neck, one hand resting on his scales. Rex leaned behind her, still wounded but awake. They had escaped, but the war was not over. Vaughn may be down, Rex said weakly, but he wasn't alone. Someone sent him, someone bigger. Zentha nodded. And they'll come for Nyrax again. She looked at the tracker crystal in her hand. The light still blinked. But this time, it wasn't tracking Nyrax. It was being tracked. "They're following." "US," she whispered. They landed on a small jungle moon called Zentha 3. It was hidden behind two gas giants, quiet, green, and uninhabited. Rex had used it before as a secret repair spot. He groaned as they set up camp. "We need to fix the ship and your dragon needs rest." Nyrax curled beside a warm rock, his golden eyes closing slowly. Zentha helped Rex sit. "You lost a lot of blood?" "Still alive," he said with a weak smile. "Thanks to you." Zentha looked at the trees swaying in the breeze. "I just want peace." But peace didn't last long. That night, Zentha woke to a strange sound, a hum. Soft at first, then louder, rhythmic, like machines. She climbed a tree and looked up. Ships, 3 of them. Silent, dark, shaped like black wings. "They found us," she whispered. She jumped down. "Rex, wake up!" He sat up quickly. "What is it?" "There. Here." Rex stood, limping. "We have 2 choices, run or fight." Zentha looked at Nyrax, still tired. "We can't fly yet." Rex nodded. "Then we fight." They hid in the trees, preparing traps. Zentha used vines to tie stun bombs between branches. Rex rigged the entrance to their camp with flares and flash grenades. They waited. Then the soldiers came. Tall, armored aliens. Not pirates this time, real. Military, Vaughn's people. The Zenthax Empire. One leader walked ahead. Her voice echoed. Return the dragon, and we may let you live. Zira stepped out. You already tried to steal him. Now come and see what that cost you. She triggered the first trap. Flares burst into the sky, blinding the soldiers. Nyrax roared, jumping up from behind the rocks. With his fire restored, he attacked. Flames shot across the trees, forcing the soldiers to scatter. Rex fired from the bushes, taking out 2 with clean shots. Zira jumped into the fight with her stun blade, moving fast and striking hard. The enemy was skilled, but not prepared for the terrain or for a dragon. Nyrax soared above them, dropping fire in wide circles. One enemy ship tried to lift off again, but Rex threw a grenade into its engine. It exploded mid-air, but more troops arrived. Zira and Rex fell back toward the cave, breathing heavy. We can't hold much longer, Rex said. Zira held the crystal. There's one more thing we can do. She pressed hard on the base of the crystal. What did you just do? Rex asked. I activated the flare code. My people, my village. We'll see it. Even if they were too scared before, now they'll know the truth. You think they'll come? I don't know, Zira said honestly, but I had to try. The last group of soldiers rushed in. Nyrax stood between them and the cave, breathing fire to protect his bonded partner. Zira held her blade tight. Rex loaded his last power cell. Then the sky cracked. Blue fire rained down. A huge ship descended. And on its wings, Zira saw her village's crest. They came. She whispered in shock. Kelleran warriors jumped from the ship, weapons glowing, wings flying. The Zentha soldiers were caught between fire and fury. In minutes, the battle turned. After the final shot was fired, silence returned. Zira's mother stepped from the Kelleran ship, eyes wide. We saw your signal, she said, and we saw what they tried to do. Zira hugged her. You believed me. We should have helped sooner, her mother said. You were right to fight. Rex leaned on Nyrax. Nice timing. One of the elders looked at the dragon. He truly chose peace. Zira nodded. Yes, and we must protect him from those who would twist that. That night, by the campfire, Zira sat between Rex and Nyrax. The stars above looked calm again, but she knew it was only a pause. The Zentha empire wouldn't stop. Vaughn was just one of many. But now she had her people. She had a human friend. And a dragon that breathed fire not for war but for those he loved. Asterisk. The camp on Zentha 3 buzzed with activity. Kelleran warriors repaired their ships. Human trader Rex helped do signal relays. Zira stood at the center, watching the sky, her hand resting on Nyrax's back. The dragon's golden eyes scanned the stars. They'll come again, Zira said quietly. Rex nodded beside her. This time, with more ships, maybe even their full fleet. Zira turned to the Kelleran elders. We can't wait for them to attack. We must strike first. The elders hesitated. One of them, old and proud, said, We are not soldiers. Our world has always chosen peace. Zira raised her voice. That's exactly why we must fight. Not for war but for freedom, for Nyrax, for the future. There was silence. Then her mother stepped forward. She is right. We can't run anymore, Rex added, and you're not alone. I've called in help too. Zira looked at him. From? Where? Rex smiled. Other humans, traders, smugglers. Old friends who hate the Zentha empire even more than I do. By the next day, the alliance had formed 3 Kelleran ships, 2 human gunships, 1 dragon, and a mission. Stop the Zentha fleet before they could spread war across the system. They flew fast and silent, following the trail of a Zentha signal Rex had decrypted. It led them to an asteroid belt near the edge of the sector, where a massive Zentha command station floated like a dark heart. We hit their command ship, Rex explained. We shut down their control over the pirates, warlords, and captured beasts. Zira studied the station through the view screen. Looks like a monster. It is, Rex said. But we've got fire. She smiled. And we've got a dragon. The plan was simple. The Kelleran warriors would distract the outer defense ships. The humans would disable the station's communications. Zira and Nyrax would go straight for the heart. The core command tower. As they approached, the enemy opened fire. Red beams lit the sky. Stay close, shouted one Kelleran pilot. Zira and Nyrax flew through a tight wave of plasma fire, twisting mid-air. The dragon roared and breathed a circle of fire through two enemy fighters, sending them spinning away. Inside the command tower, Zentha's leaders shouted orders. Get the dragon, one yelled. Do not let it reach the core. But Zira was already inside. Nyrax burst through the side of the tower, flames clearing the hallway. Zira jumped from his back and landed on the steel floor, blade ready. Alarms blared and guards rushed in. She fought fast, striking low, dodging high, each move powered by purpose. Rex's voice came through her earpiece. We've shut down their comms. You're on your own now. Understood, she said. I'm heading for the control room. Nyrax followed behind her, swiping guards with his tail. They reached the main chamber, a wide room with a glowing orb in the center. The command AI, the brain of the station. Then came the voice. Zira Keller, said a cold, robotic tone. You have caused great damage. You should not exist. She stepped forward. Neither should your war. The AI activated defense drones flying. Machines with electric blades. Zira leaped into action. Nyrax burned the first two. She took down the next with swift strikes and quiet fury. Finally, she stood before the orb. What now? She asked Rex over the earpiece. His voice was faint. Smash it. She raised her blade. No more war, she whispered, and slammed the weapon into the core. The orb cracked. Light burst from it. Then everything went dark. Across the station, power failed. Zentha's ships drifted. Weapons shut down. Kelleran fighters cheered. Rex, watching from his ship, smiled. She did it. Back in the tower, Zira fell to her knees, breathing hard. Nyrax bent down and nudged her gently. She looked up. Is it over? A voice answered from the shadows. No, it growled. Not yet. From the broken sidewall, a figure stepped out. Tall, scarred, wounded but alive. Commander Vaughn. His armor was damaged. His eyes burned with hate. You think shutting off a station stops us? He shouted. I will end you myself. Zira stood slowly. No, you'll never touch Nyrax again. Vaughn drew a blade made of glowing black metal. Zira raised hers. The final fight had begun. Commander Vaughn stepped into the dark command chamber, dragging his damaged blade behind him. The control system sparked around him, destroyed by Zira's strike. Smoke filled the air. Zira stood firm. Her body was bruised, her armor scratched. But her eyes were sharp. She didn't step back. Nyrax stood behind her, breathing slow, flames glowing deep in his throat. You ruined everything, Vaughn growled. That dragon was meant to bring order to the galaxy. Through power, through fear. Zira shook her head. You never understood. Nyrax isn't a weapon. He's a living being with a choice. Vaughn raised his blade. Then I'll destroy you both. The fight began fast. Vaughn charged, swinging his blade with raw fury. Zira dodged, barely missing the glowing edge. She countered with a quick strike to his arm. Sparks flew. He roared in pain and kicked her back into a wall. Your kind is weak, he shouted. That's why you'll always lose. Zira stood again, wiping blood from her lip. No, we win because we fight for each other, not for power. She attacked again, faster this time, aiming low. Vaughn blocked, then struck her shoulder. She gasped, but stayed standing. Behind them, Nyrax growled louder, sensing her pain. But Zira raised her hand. "No, Nyrax, this is my fight." The dragon stepped back. Rex's voice crackled over the comm. "Zira, status?" "I'm fighting Vaughn," she replied. "Hold your position. Zenthak's ships are waking up again. We don't have much time." Zira looked at the sparking control room. "Then I finish this now," she charged again. Vaughn met her blade to blade. Sparks lit the dark room. Their weapons clashed. Their feet slid across the metal floor. Vaughn knocked her down once more. He raised his blade to strike the final blow. Then a sound stopped him, a roar. But not of anger, of sorrow. Nyrax. The dragon stepped forward slowly, eyes locked on Vaughn. The warlord hesitated. "You'll attack me now, after obeying her?" But Nyrax didn't attack. He lowered his head. A memory flashed in Vaughn's eyes. The old lab, the early experiments, the bond that failed, the fire that almost killed him. "You remember me," Vaughn said, voice shaking. "You were the prototype. You were supposed to serve me." Nyrax took a slow breath and turned away. It was a choice. The dragon rejected him. That moment of shock was all Zira needed. She leapt up, kicked Vaughn's blade aside, and held her stun blade to his chest. "It's over," she said. He looked into her eyes and saw no fear, only resolve. Then he passed out. Zira tied his hands and called the others. "The command tower is secure," she told Rex. "Send word to the fleet. Begin withdrawal." Back in space, the Kelleran and human ships pulled back. The Zentha station, now powerless, drifted in silence. When the prisoners were rescued, and the last of the fighters cleared the field, Nyrax flew Zira and Rex out from the broken tower and back to the ship. Later, they stood on a cliff above a green world, a new Kelleran outpost. Zira breathed fresh air again. Nyrax lay beside her, wings folded. Rex walked up behind them, his arm in a sling but smiling. "You did it," he said. "You ended it." Zira nodded. "We ended it, together. The galaxy owes you one." She looked up at the stars. "No. It owes Nyrax. He made the real choice." Rex sat beside her. "What will you do now?" "I'll protect him. And others like him. I'll teach the truth, that peace is not weakness, it's strength." Rex smiled. "You'd make a good captain." Zira laughed. "Maybe, someday." In the sky above, a new signal pulsed, one of peace, not war. And across the stars, others heard it. Dragons still existed. They were not weapons. They were guardians. And one girl, with a human friend and a dragon's heart, had lit the flame that changed everything.